Anthony Adebayo.
With you there, but if you're a coach, do you take that chance?
Yes.
You can reach us at the Off the Record Show at gmail.com. Anthony Adebayo and the most accurate sports coverage. Scotty B's Fantasy 5.
We're different from any other sport.
His sophomore year. Comes back and says, you know what?
And your boy, Scotty B.
What up?
What's going on? How you doing, brother?
I'm fine. Let's get some horns up in here. Let's get some horns. I know. So here's the thing. I know my shirt and my hat don't match. You know, I'm breaking some rules, but I don't care. I'm supporting my school.
Okay.
And the Bulls are playing tonight, so I'm supporting the Bulls. So I don't care. It is what it is. But this is Off the Record. I'm Anthony Adebayo.
Boy, Scotty B, man.
I don't think nobody even would have noticed or even cared had I just went with it. But I want to put people on notice just in case they do notice that I don't care.
So look, we've been having an interesting conversation. It's not sports related, but one of our friends has brought up the topic of colorful temps. So all day I've been thinking about like how like you go extra tough to like match your like shoes with your shirt, but like now that's not really like the fashion trend. So the question is, do you really have to like match? Like what is it like? Like is it?
So you don't have to be matchy. I don't like match every like my shoes.
Okay.
I mean, they match, but I mean you don't have to be matchy. You know what I'm saying? So no, it doesn't have to match. But I mean, they should be in the same like stratosphere though, to an extent. Like I know some people like to go crazy with the colors, but not me. I don't like to go super crazy with the colors, but you don't have to be matchy. I know that sounds funny, and I'm gonna keep on saying it because I like to.
No, but some people will go to the extreme to like, let's say they have a red shirt and they've got some busted red shoes, but they feel like because they've got like a red shirt on that they've got to go with these busted red shoes, or even we'll go with the caps. You know what I mean? Like you have a cap and people will feel like, okay, I can't wear this cap because it doesn't go with anything that's in my outfit or something like that, or you get like the boomerang guy where you coordinate, where you got the cap, the hat, the belt, and the shoes, and you just do it like way too much, trying to make that color work.
Yeah. So there are people like that.
Okay.
There are people like that, and I think that I don't know if I might not want to be around those people. They too matchy. They might be now you're on the borderline of being psycho.
Or let's take it a step further, right? You got those people that like have to make sure they have on the whole brand. Like for instance, like you got to have a Nike cap on, you got to have a Nike hoodie, you got to have the Nike sweatpants, and you got to have like the Nike like shoes and the Nike shirt.
Now we get
with it.
Now we talking, right? Because cause that's the thing. Cross branding is a thing, and I am against cross branding to an extent.
Okay.
To an extent, because you know me. So the hat doesn't really matter, right?
Okay.
The hat, unless so like like the sneaker brands, I would say. The sneaker brands are where you shouldn't really cross match. So like I go into like playing football, right? I was always growing up, it was always bad luck cross branding. I always felt like something wrong was gonna happen if you had on like a pair of Nike cleats and some Under Armour gloves or some Reebok gloves.
Adidas or Adidas headband. You know what I mean? With Nike.
So
okay.
I give somebody a little leeway with the headband because it's going under your helmet. But if you're playing basketball and you have on a headband and you have on a Nike headband, you have to wear Nike shoes. That's right. Against the rules. That's against the rules. So we had, and he spelled it wrong, but he said, what about Newman gloves? Newman gloves are fine with whatever because Newman doesn't really make footwear, right? They're a glove type company, right? So now you don't want to cross brand. I'm telling you, because people are clowning you if you cross brand. If you got on, if you got on like Reebok socks and Nike shoes, some people may think you a poo putt, man. So
yeah, but okay, so you took it to the field, but like a lot of times you'll see like people running the errand, right? You know what I mean? And they might have excuse, like
right? If you got on Adidas sweat.
No, there's no excuse. But you see it everywhere to where you might be in the grocery store and somebody's got on 3 different brands and you want to tell them, but you feel like they already know that they're violating.
And they'll feel guilty. They might fight you. If you tell somebody that in the store, they might fight you.
I think it's fighting. I think it's fighting words. I mean, for somebody to come up to somebody and say, you know what, you should really have on some Nike sneakers with those Nike sweatpants. I think those are grounds to fight. You don't know my financial situation. Like, you don't know what I got going on. like what are you doing? Like who the hell are you? I mean, so this is one of them things where you just kind of laugh at them like under your breath. Cause like now that's the good thing about having a mask, because when you go places, people cannot see your facial expressions and they can't tell if you're really laughing at them. You got to tell me that that's a, sometimes like people would do some strange stuff and you got the mask and you just kind of like, it's like you keep the straight face, but deep down you just like, hey, this Joker is a clown, but I'm just going to let it ride. So I do like the mask for that reason, because you can be shady, a little bit discreet with your shadiness. Absolutely. I know there's people out there listening that are right with me.
So
let's get to it. Let's get to it. I'm talking too much.
Yeah, no. I mean, you're giving away all your secrets, and yeah. So we now know that Scott throws a lot of shade. He laughs at you and he clowns you when he has his mask on. So when you see Scott out in the street, don't trust him. He told you. Don't trust him. He's playing you as you.
I feel like I'm not the only person that does that.
I ain't got nothing to do with that, yo.
You don't do that. You don't do that.
This is not my conversation. I don't know. I don't got nothing to do with this. Nope.
All right, man.
So here's the thing. You know what? Let's bring somebody on real quick. Hey, what's up?
Yeah. Hey, how you doing?
What up?
So we got Prescott swing. I like that one. Let's get some horns for. So let me ask you, what are your thoughts on cross branding?
Oh, it's a violation.
So is that fighting worthy? Maybe not this day and age, because
it certainly, in school, it would get you clowned. My high school daughter, if I wouldn't do it, but if I had Adidas kicks on and a Nike sweatsuit, it's a violation. It's disrespectful to both brand makers. You're not declaring anything. You're showing that you're non-committal. You probably cheat. There's a lot of things about you that you could tell by the fact that you're willing to cross brand. So yeah, I don't fool with it.
Yeah.
So I got a question for you though. Okay, so would you A, approach the person, or B, laugh at them behind your mask?
If it's my friend, I'm saying, yo, Oh,
Nah,
I
you
don't
don't
know.
know. Yeah, you don't know.
If I don't know him, I'm thinking it's kind of like the cat that'll wear the black Air Force Ones. They might kill you, so it's best to leave them alone. If somebody come out hard with like Champion, I feel like you can wear Champion with Nike.
We're champion with whatever.
Right. But if you had a whole Adidas fit with some Jordans on, you're a killer. You know what I mean? Like you looking for drama.
Oh, and to touch on that, if you wearing champion footwear, you might be a killer.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
If you wear
Absolutely.
champion footwear, you might have a body in the trunk, and you just came to get the rest of your tools.
This is true. Yeah. If somebody got on Champion footwear, they're an elite killer.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You are asking. Well, you know nobody is going to tell you otherwise if you got on some Champion.
Correct.
So all right, so we'll get back to the we'll get back to Jamal. You down to stay with us for the show?
Yeah.
We might have somebody else join us too. So yesterday officially started the beginning of the NBA season. We had 2 games. It was the Bucks and the Nets, and the Lakers and the Warriors. Today we have more games, and I guess this is like the official kickoff. Like, so what are you guys expecting from this upcoming season? Whether it's from your particular team or the league as a whole.
Honestly, I felt like basketball season crept up on us this year, to where like the preseason went really fast, and it's a lot of changes, a lot of changes on teams. I'm not going to go too deep into what I think, because I have a feeling there's going to be some other questions, but I expect it to be a good season.
Okay. I guess that means, yeah.
Oh, I expect it to be a kind of a battle test, regular season to get ready for the playoffs. Like always, I think the league changes every few years, so it looks like player movement is going to be a really big deal, because we've been pick and roll ISO for a long time in the NBA now, for better part of 5 years. Defenses are making adjustments to that. You see in the playoffs, teams that rely on that, struggle sometimes. So I think a lot of teams are going to experiment with player movement throughout the regular season. So it might be a little clunky. The teams that stick with pick and roll because it's effective will probably struggle again in the playoffs. So, I think it's particularly speaking from my Lakers standpoint, it's going to be a lot of trial and error in the regular season to get to.
I got a question about that, because I knew you are a Laker fan. So the first day, the season opener is always overreaction. The day after, right? Depending on what the Lakers do, whoever's premiering, like everybody overreacts. What is your honest assessment of the Lakers? What do you think they should do? And are you happy with the acquisitions that the team made in the offseason?
Yeah, they just got to stay the course. I told Ant before the game they was going to lose. The Warriors have a lot of continuity. The Warriors move you around as if you're not playing defense on a string. They back cut you, they side cut you. Steph Curry creates so much gravity by moving. You get 3 sets of eyes on him. He'll catch it, pass it. Good for the hockey assist. Bielitsa is like a Boris Diaw with a little more agility and speed. So they're going to be a bit of a problem. But again, I think more of a regular season problem than a playoff problem, unless Clay comes back super healthy. But as it relates to the Lakers, we played 10 people last night. It's like an extended preseason game. Rotations are weird. You're not going to get a lot of minutes with Rondo and Westbrook as the year goes on. You're just getting people's legs loose. THT will be back. Trevor Ariza will be back. We'll narrow down to an 8-man rotation, and the talent will work itself out. Even if Russ was to like be West Brick as he has been, if AD plays like even remotely close to what he did last night, and then also makes free throws, it's gonna be a problem.
All right, so I don't want this to turn into a Lakers show. Okay, but I know you was answering the questions, but I think that there's gonna be, like, as there is every year, that there's gonna be somebody that surprises and shakes up the league a little bit. And I don't know who it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be one of those rookies that what's the number 1 pick guy? From Oklahoma State.
Cade Cunningham?
Yes, I think that he's going to put people on notice. I think that he's.
What, are they gonna make the playoffs? Like,
who the Pistons?
Yeah,
don't do it.
This might be his Matt Nagy moment.
No.
Go ahead.
Now I don't see the Pistons making the playoffs, but I do see him taking the league and the world by storm. I think he runs away with Player of the Year. I know there's a kid in Houston that looked damn good in the preseason, but if he stays healthy.
Well, the kid in Houston has the advantage of having a year of playing against men because he was in the G League.
That is true.
So it's going to be interesting to see how Cade deals with the physicality of the NBA, how Cade deals with the season getting long, when they start getting into the dog days, when you get into games 60 through 82 and they're 19 and 40, whatever they're going to be, how does he play then?
19 and 40. I don't think they're going to be that bad.
They're terrible.
Okay, so I got a question though. All right, so we saw what was going on in the East, right? We saw Milwaukee looked really good, beat the Nets pretty handily. Is Brooklyn in trouble without Kyrie?
No, I don't think so. Again, overreaction on day one. A lot goes into ring night, man. It's either going to be one or two things. The championship team is going to play really, really well, or they're going to stink it up. There's never really an in between. And I think yesterday, the Bucks bench played they played amazing.
The thing about a Budenholzer team is they're always going to play really hard, which prepares you for the playoffs to play hard, but can sometimes burn you out. But the Nets will be fine. When you have Kevin Durant and you have Harden, you can't help but be fine. They'll be fine.
Yeah. I don't think people should. I think most people will probably still put their money on the Nets before the Bucks, which I think that I have a feeling, and I said this last year, that the Bucks winning the championship was equivalent to that 2015 Warriors team winning that championship. That they, not necessarily the championship, but most people feel like the Nets should have beat the Bucks. They feel like the Nets should have beat the Bucks. And that was probably more of a championship series than the actual finals. And I think now the Bucks, Giannis to me looks like he got better, and they know how to win now, right? They tasted that win, so now they know how to win. I'm not saying they're gonna break the record for wins, but I think that people should start giving them a lot more credit than they are giving them. I still feel like people think this is the Bucks from 2-3 years ago, and I don't think that's the case.
Now they're deep.
I think it's the same thing with like when the Warriors first won. It was like one of those things where is it just 1 year, or are they going to go away the next year? So I think, it's the same thing. It's going to take a while before they get the respect, because even though last year wasn't an asterisk, like you said, a lot of people felt like if the Nets were healthy, they would have won the East. And then, same with out West, they felt like if the Lakers was probably healthy, that was their year. So, people, They want the matchups that they're clamoring for. So it's not going to be tough for the Bucks, but I don't think they're going to get the respect until they can show that they're capable of duplicating what they did last year. So let me ask both of you gentlemen this. Did you guys get to see the 50 players that have been released as part of the top 75?
Yes.
What is your initial reaction? And I know it's not, the list is not complete, but judging by who's on there right now, what's your initial reaction?
It's not in any particular order, right?
No.
Michael Jordan got released today, so it can't be in order.
Yeah, now hold on. Give me one moment. Let me bring one more person in here. All right, what up, Phil?
Hey, how you doing, brother?
Why Phil got on goofy ass headphones?
Hey, Jamal, we're not going to start this tonight. First of all, thank you to the host for bringing me on. Jamal, what's up?
Whatever, yeah.
All right, go ahead, Jamal. My fault.
This guy. Yeah. So with the so far, I like personally that they didn't say 50 plus 25. Like the game changes, so number 50 from the old list might not be like Joe Dumars shouldn't be in the top 75 players of all time. Sorry, he's not.
Sorry, Joe.
Yeah, he's not. So like
Joe.
You gotta make adjustments to it, but so far I haven't seen any names that I'm like, nah, that person don't deserve to be on here or nothing. So it's been interesting. It's been a good point of conversation.
So do you think that I know we don't have the full list, but tomorrow we get the final 25, and that's when the talk is really going to start. Do you think that in that last 25 that Russell Westbrook should be on that last 25?
100%.
Yeah,
based off of what he's done.
Yeah, so I said that. Oh, go ahead, Scott.
Oh, now I'll make it quick. I mean, it's missing 5 notable players. Like it's missing LeBron, it's missing Dwayne, it's missing Russ, it's missing Kobe, and I forget the other one that is missing. So I mean, those are 5 that I'm going to be looking for tomorrow.
I didn't see Shaq's name on there already. So
I see Shaq either.
Yeah, so we know he's on there. So as far as Russ,
what if Shaq is not on there?
Nah, no way.
No way possible.
No way. Throw the whole list.
Talk about the we going if Shaq's name is, we're going live immediately. So y'all clear your calendars.
Throw the whole list out if Shaq ain't on there. So as far as Russ, Russ has got to be on there if they put Harden on there, right? Because I think Russ is a better player than Harden.
Mm-hmm.
I mean. So, or at worst equivalent, because I see Jamal's face. At worst, they're equivalent players, right? So, putting Harden on there, I think Russ has been a better player or more important to the league than Harden.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So look, I had another question. Just remember to come back to me. We do have to stop and come back to this point. All right. So you are saying that Russell Westbrook is better than James Harden?
Yeah.
Jeez.
That's not true. Phil's a football guy, and that it's evident when he says things like this. I mean, because they're still playing, right? And James Harden is a top 10 player right now, and Russ is like a top 30 current player. So
whoa.
Yeah, that's out of bounds.
Kind of disrespectful.
Hey, I'm about to say both of y'all out in a second. Yo, wait.
No, hold on.
Top 30? You can name 29 players better than Russell Westbrook right now.
Probably more. Yeah, when you include efficiency and all those things into the equation, yeah, I could.
So you discount. So I have heard this argument before. People discount the triple doubles as manufactured, right?
No, I don't discount them. I mean, I just know the game is different. So without a center on the court, a big majority of the game. And there's more shots being put up. There's more rebound opportunities. And it's just different. But it's still spectacular that he's done that. But right now, which one would you pick if you could pick only one of them, Russ or Harden? Ask any GM. It's going to be Harden.
So the GMs may say that, but so one thing I will say, and you can talk about efficiency numbers, but Russ comes to play every day. I don't believe that Harden does.
Harden does. No. I mean, he had a bad stint with Houston, like on his way out. But for the most part, like he stays pretty healthy, and he gives you a full 82. Harden comes to play.
Yeah, Harden ain't no rest guy or nothing, and he plays heavy minutes. He's productive. Now in the playoffs, sometimes he shrinks, but that's what I was talking about earlier. Is ISO high pick and roll basketball? The court starts to shrink on you in the playoffs, and that's sometimes why he has some of his struggles. But maybe top 30 was top 20. Top 20.
Yeah, that was your Matt Nagy moment. Right there.
Nah. If I had time,
30.
If I had time, I think I could do it. In tiers, I don't know that he's like Nick Wright did his tiers, and he had Russ closer toward the bottom of his pyramid of power or whatever he called it. Mm-hmm. I don't really have a problem with it.
So Phil brought up an excellent point when he brought up Shaq, right? So I was reading an interview with Shaq, and he said that if LeBron James becomes the number one scorer of all time, point blank, he's the greatest person of all time. Do either of you guys agree with that?
No.
I'm going to say no, because that's a longevity thing, right? So Jordan's currently not number one, right? I think it's what, Karl Malone or something like that,
Jabbar.
Jabbar.
It's Jabbar, Malone, and then it's LeBron.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Well, no, I knew Malone was up there. I thought Malone had passed Jabbar. So he was number 2. So I don't believe Malone is a top 5 power forward of all time. So
what?
No, I don't.
Okay, so please give your 5 that are better than him.
I just don't have.
But you have to be able to give 5. You should be able to do that like really easy.
All right, so I'm definitely going Barkley over him. I consider Duncan a power forward.
Okay.
Even though I hate the guy, I go Kevin Garnett over him. You don't agree with Garnett?
This is your list. Go ahead.
And I'll take my 5. I had the 5 at first, but
that's only 3.
Yeah, so I said I had the 5. I got 3 that I think is definitely better than him. I just don't think he's. I just don't like. Maybe it's my bias. I just don't like the kid, or the guy, the grown adult. I just don't think he's top 5.
Can we talk about cover 2s or inverted cover 2s or
so where do you have them ranked, Jamal?
As power forwards?
Yeah.
Number 2.
Behind
Tim Duncan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me ask both of y'all this. Where do you put Mikal? I mean, not obviously over Karl Malone, but do you put Mikal?
I put Mikal as 5th.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I know I'm.
What do you think?
And so, truthfully, I'm biased. Also, it may not bear out to anyone, but if I was picking the team, I would rather have Rodman than him.
Than Karl Malone?
Yeah. Yes, I'd rather have Rodman.
What team?
If I was picking a team, I would rather have Rodman.
Than Karl Malone?
Yeah, because I can get scoring. Yes,
Karl Malone?
Yeah.
Is there any way that someone could send LabQuest over to Phil's house to see what's in his urine?
So again, I'm biased. I don't. Yeah, Abdul's right. Can you put Abdul's thing up? That could be it. That could be purely what it is. I don't like him. I'm biased against him. I just don't like the guy.
So you're R. Kelly and Karl Malone.
Probably that could have a lot to do with it. Like I wouldn't want Karl Malone on my team. I don't think I think a lot of it got blown up like he was this great teammate. He was this great guy. I think he's a piece of trash as a human being. I think I think he's a good basketball player who put up a lot of points because the system was designed specifically with the pick and roll to get him a lot of points. I just don't think he's a great player.
It's not his fault. I mean, you still got to score the basket, though.
Yeah. Well, but,
and it was more pop than pick.
Yeah.
I don't know. This ain't my show. I would make your box go away if I had consent. I'm just letting you know.
So you said something. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. You did say something interesting though. Where do you put Rodman in your top 10? I mean, top power forwards. Where do you put him?
Me?
No, I'm talking to Phil because he said he'll take him over Karl Malone.
Again, I love everything Rodman brought to the game.
Rodman's a great human. Like he's not. Human.
But I will say, Rodman to me would do anything you ask for him on the court. If you ask him, yeah. Well, no.
During the playoffs,
no one has ever actually accused him of being a horrible teammate.
Yes, sure people have. He left the team. They had to go find him in Las Vegas.
And he came back and hooped. And he came back and hooped, Jamal.
Well, if you talk about hoop, Karl never left and hooped. Like, what are you talking about?
I don't like Karl. I don't like Karl.
What is happening here, man?
I just don't like him.
All right, let's get back on track. Let's get back to that. Oh God! Oh, I apologize because I was in shock just now. You know. Sometimes you get into a moment when you're doing the show, like and it's happened when it was just me and Scott here. He would say something crazy, and I don't know how to react, and I just go quiet. I'm sorry. So that it's in that now. Abdul's making excuses of why he went to Vegas during the playoffs. Like that's a good thing. But anyway. So as far as the list, I joking around, I do think Shaq is going to be on there. Do you all think that there will be any surprises? Because somebody has to get. I do feel like somebody from the old list has to get knocked off. I just don't. I don't think that. Like, is Dame top 75 of all time?
Yeah.
So
Steph Curry's not on there yet either.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Of course he's going to be on
I mean, that's
yeah,
like
but I'm just saying, like, but you got to take somebody off.
Yeah, so
we named like 7 people.
Steph Curry's a three-time MVP or 2-time?
He should be on there. No, I agree. He should be on there, but somebody's got to come off.
No, I forget. It's either 2 or 3.
Steph got a unanimous.
He's
going to get a unanimous MVP.
Yeah, he's definitely on there. Dame is a tough one. I actually wish they had when they released it, they would have released the obvious ones first.
You could take Walt Frazier off. You could take Dave Bing off.
What about Dave DeBusschere? He's
Joe
out.
Dumars off.
So you said who was the first one you said?
Walt Frazier.
He's on there.
Oh, he
said he could take it.
I think you do have to keep Walt Frazier on there.
Really?
I mean,
so was Bernard King was on the first 50, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was on the first 50.
And he should remain on this next 75.
Was Bernard King on the 50 grades?
I don't know.
We can check. We can check, but right now he's not on the 50 right now.
I don't think Bernard King. It's too many people that have duplicated what Bernard King does, and then also contributed to winning, and also play a little more defense.
So you would exclude him?
He's just one that if he gets bumped,
he should be on there.
Whoa.
But what about Carmelo Anthony? Do you think Carmelo Anthony should be on?
He's better than Bernard King.
I think Melo should definitely be on there.
And he's top 10 in scoring of all time. I think he's safely on the list.
Well, we can't say safe.
You would have a hard time not putting a top 10 scorer all time on the list.
Man, this is tough, man.
Yeah,
there's still some good names out there floating around.
Yeah, Bernard King was not on.
Okay, so
you waiting
yeah,
on the first one?
so they
Okay.
ain't adding him at this point. He's done. But I did remember the argument that he wasn't on because when the first 50 came out, they argued that he should have been on. I think Shaq was put on the list, and they were arguing it was too soon for him. I like that they did not do Giannis like that way. I like they did not
Giannis
do
is
Giannis.
on. Yeah,
I like they didn't do Giannis like that and say
Giannis has been
Giannis.
in the league like 9 years, man. Shaq at the time had been in the league 3.
4. Yeah,
Four.
it's 4 years.
It was 4.
Yeah,
But
but
at that time, he made the Pro Bowl. He made the All-Star team every year. He was clearly.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's completely different than Giannis.
Oh yeah.
So first 5 years was Giannis Shaq? Because we're literally talking about the last 4 years of Giannis. Four great years of Giannis versus 4 great years of Shaq. And that was the argument.
He won.
He won the MVP twice.
And
Yeah,
the defensive player of the year.
And I'm not arguing that he shouldn't have been on there. I'm saying that I'm glad they did not hold that his recent 4-year success has been other stratosphere and say that he didn't deserve to be on there. I actually agree he should be on there.
So let me
What
ask
about
you
Jason
this.
Kidd?
I don't think he makes it. I just don't. I don't think there's enough room. I think Jason
Kidd's on the list. Jason Kidd's got to be on the list.
So do you think Nash should have been on over Kidd?
Well, yeah, Nash is a back-to-back MVP. Nash is, yeah.
Dick Grant. While you have the list up, Dick Grant, he'll make the first list.
No.
Okay.
Grant Hill came in the league in 98. I'm sorry, 94. The list came out in 97.
Well,
Yeah, and he was what, healthy at that time. I don't know the list.
So and before, because we have to get into the winner of the week, but before we get out of here, do you think someone who has gotten, is there anyone that's been in the league since, I guess we'll give 4 years, so since 2017, do you think anyone that has gotten drafted since then get on the list?
No, I don't think anyone since Embiid's draft could be on the list.
So does Embiid make it?
No.
So if so if Embiid doesn't, because what is the guy in Dallas right now?
Luka.
Luka. So here's my question about Luka, because Luka, and I won't say a Trey Young, but mind you, and Shaq did make the finals as well before the list came out, but Luka looks like he's on that trajectory of a Dirk, of even of a Shaq, and I'm not saying like because he can dominate, and I think Luka has the trajectory to be on that list. If there's somebody that I had to pick from even Embiid's draft to now, I wouldn't say Embiid's draft. I would say 2017 is Luka. I think Embiid makes it.
No way Embiid makes it.
Doesn't stay healthy enough.
Okay. I mean, and I'm cool with that.
And last season, he had a remarkable season, but he hasn't been consistent enough with his seasons.
And Luka hasn't made it out of the first round in his 2 opportunities. So it's showing that.
Wait, no, he did.
When?
Then they just won it. Then they just beat the Clippers last year.
Against the Clippers. No, they didn't beat the Clippers.
They lost.
Yeah, they were up, and
they did lose. Was that the first round? He never won a series?
Yeah, no.
All right, so
he's pushed the Clippers to the brink, and he's carried that team.
So I ask you this question, and it's because you're talking honors, right? Ben Wallace, does he get considered four-time defensive player of the year?
That's not enough. It ain't like he won an MVP.
So I think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, did Mutombo make the first list?
No.
Or Mourning? Did any of those guys that have multiple?
No, only Shaq. Shaq and Mourning were in the same draft. So
only Shaq.
Only Shaq.
Yeah.
So Mourning shouldn't make it either then. Yeah, this is gonna be interesting.
Because I mean, when you start talking about greatest player, you got to look at all around like game. Like you can't just dominate one category. Like you've got to be
Absolutely.
dominant across the board.
I thought James Worthy was going to come off the list.
He should have came off. He should have came off. He should have came off.
Well, Scotty, I don't know that you got to be that disrespectful to say you should have came off.
Let's get to the
hey man, hey, it's like all right, we go
because we'll be at the clock. Let's get to. Oh my gosh.
No, you're a winner. No, you're a winner. No, you're a winner. No, you're a winner.
I don't want to make it quick because I got 2 Cowboy fans, but my winner of the week is Demonte Quasi. If you haven't heard, he got pulled over with DWI, but he's my double winner of the week for giving up that big play last week when he blown his coverage, which I ended up having Dallas in my fantasy football league, and one league ended up losing because of my defense giving up a little bit more points. So he has a special place in my heart this week. But Dallas fans, what are your thoughts on that?
First of all, it's KZ, so say the man's name right.
I've been asking Anna all day, yo. How you say his name?
Demonte KZ. Yeah,
Kizzy, that's his name.
KZ.
Oh, Kizzy.
Scott is so disrespectful when it comes to names, yo. I'm starting to think.
You spell it like Kizzy. His last name is Kizzy.
I'll let Jamal start this. He is a guest. What are your thoughts
on KZ?
On him getting winner of the week? Yeah.
So winner of the week clearly means loser of the week.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, is he a big enough name to be winner of the week, or is it because he's associated with the world famous Dallas Cowboys? The star American.
That has all to do with the Cowboys.
You know what? It has nothing to do with the Cowboys. It has everything to do with you and that.
If he played for the Cincinnati Bengals, you wouldn't even know.
Be on my radar. It wouldn't even be on my radar.
So he drew attention to himself on the bye week. Now we're the cocaine Cowboys again. Cowboys players always get arrested. Yeah, he messed up. He deserves to be winner of the week.
All right, so I think he deserves winner of the week more for his play on that play than him getting the legal trouble. Mainly because you got the game in hand. You got a 5-point lead. You don't even got to make the pick. Just make the damn tackle. You don't have to have a big hit. And even if you do have a big hit, just make the damn tackle. What I noticed was a lot of people wanted to blame Diggs. Yeah. And any competent person or any unbiased person would see that safety that was a bad pass. That was a terrible pass. And if he hits that receiver, if he knocks the ball down, if he just makes the tackle, New England is in trouble. And I think he should get winner more for that than the DWI, because it is, those things happen. He might have had 2 drinks and swerved a little bit and ended up, getting pulled over. But I personally feel like his gameplay should get him winner of the week instead of his legal stuff.
The combination is bad, right? So now people say, was he drunk on that play? You put yourself in a bad light when that's how you perform. I think the pass was so terrible that he was like, yo, can I intercept this? Like, it was such a weird throw that they both got caught in no man's land. But I honestly think scoring as fast as they did was the best thing, because we end up with the ball last and gave us an opportunity to get the field goal. Them getting that 2-point conversion was big.
Hey, Jamal, so on that play, because I know you were an all-22 guy, and someone brought up that the way the other safety dropped looked like it was a cover one with a robber on there, because the other safety dropped to the center of the field, not to the half. So do you think both safeties could have been confused about the coverage, or you think there was just a miscommunication on the back end?
The other safety played the robber. He was taken away almost like the
like
short
the
center field. Yeah, short center. So no, he just took a bad angle. He just came up and he was drunk. I mean, it's very possible that he was drinking at halftime. He took a terrible angle, and then and earlier in the game on the Hunter Henry touchdown, he took a bad angle then. He's begging for Hooker to take his spot, but he came with the coach. He knows the system fairly well for the most part.
And you guys still won. But all jokes aside, we're at week 7. Is there any surprises? Like what team has surprised you guys the most?
Dallas Cowboys. No, I mean, not that we're winning, that we're a legitimate contender, that it's not like squint, try to look here. Well, if this goes right, like they're a legitimate contender. And coming into the season, if you had 10 people, at least 5 of them would have told you the Washington football team were going to win that division. Some people even said Washington football team's offense was better than Dallas's offense.
Oh, they were drunk.
They were drinking with
nobody
Kizzy.
said that. Yeah,
They were drinking with Kizzy.
Dan Orlowski was saying that. He was saying, I'll put these Curtis Samuel, McLaurin, Antonio Gibson. People tried to put dirt on Dak, like I'm not Dak, on Zeke, like he was dead. So yeah, it was said several times on the 4-letter network that they was better than us on both sides of the ball, and the defense was supposed to be far and away better than our defense.
So I do want to say there were times when I said, even on the show, I said Dallas will win that division by 2 games, and people laughed at me. They laughed, and now I was probably wrong. They'll probably win that division by about 4 games. I think the division is like the rest of the teams are just that bad. Will they sweep the division? I think it's highly likely. But we have so many division games at the end of the season that I think that there may be a slip up, once or twice. But I mean, 12-5 is, I mean, they damn near halfway there, and it's not surprising to me. I think that the play of the defense, because the defense is playing a lot better than last year, right? And I think that they're more optimistic, and but I mean, we're still giving up a ton of points sometimes. Not a ton of points, but a ton of yards, and it's bend but don't break. But
who doesn't give up a ton of yards in the NFL?
Oh, they all do now.
Yeah.
A track meet.
But sometimes it's like the cheap points, like last week, and so I appreciate that game against the Patriots. I appreciate the game because, I mean, those penalties were driving me insane. I mean, they were driving me crazy. But he found a way to. At the end of it, we all know they talk about, that just looks. I just, you see everybody just flipping over, which makes me a little nervous. But that was one of those games that the last year, maybe even the last 6 years, they would have lost that game. Just because.
You sound like Big TV now. That's not.
Do I really? But
that's not true. That's not true.
You don't think so? We lost a lot of close games.
Well, go to Dak's rookie year, signature game against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh scores late past Antonio Brown. We come back down, get the drive. Zeke gets the long. We go to overtime, I think. Throw the screen to Zeke.
No, we didn't go to overtime. We won 35-31.
35-31 at the end of the game, right? At the very end. Yeah.
And it was a back and forth game. So I understand that, right? Mm-hmm. But you take that year away. Because there was games that like the 2 Giants games. Those games could have easily been won that. Matter of fact, before that was the only time Dak lost to the Giants. But nonetheless, you take those two games, but you look at the years before that. Those season-ending games that we lose to not make it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Where those are very winnable games, and they are lost because of whatever reason. For whatever reason, they're lost. And you look at it and say, if that happens this year, I feel a little I don't want to say I feel more confident in the team this year than previously.
Well, that's because you were squinting, trying to make that team a contender. Phil can tell you for years, I've been telling people that it's a difference between popular and talented. And people will say the Cowboys are super talented, and you got Terrence Williams as your number 2 wide receiver. Like, they were never super talented. They were pretty talented. And if you don't mind, I would one more. He asked a question. I say one more team I'm surprised by. Mm-hmm. The 49ers. I mean, they have what I was told is the greatest coach, greatest play caller in the history of play calls. Doesn't matter the personnel. He could scheme it up. He was born in the same manger as Jesus. So I expect more, and they haven't produced at that level. So I'm surprised by their putridness to this point.
I would have to agree. I would have to agree. But you do have it right about our coach. Everything that you said was just dead on, and you're right. He is that guy.
He schemed 17 points against the Eagles.
Hey, still that guy.
So I don't think it will hold up against other NFC East teams, but surprisingly, the Eagles have held a couple of teams lower than I thought they would have. My surprise team is taking the same direction as Jamal. I'm going to say the Kansas City Chiefs. They're letting teams hang around that they should be putting away, and it's come back to cost them. Like, usually they pull some magic out at the end. But yeah, I'm just surprised that they are sitting at 3 and 3.
They lost to the Chargers, the Ravens, and the Bills. They lost to good teams.
Yeah, and they were so that football team game. They, don't get confused by the end. People who look at this is one of your favorite things. Don't look at the box score at the end. Watch the game. They thoroughly struggled with the football team.
That's football. That's NFL football. I mean, but they won 31-13. Like, for instance, the game against y'all, if Clyde Edwards-Helaire doesn't fumble, they win that game against the Ravens.
Yeah, but so truthfully, should we have been in that game?
You're a pro football team. I mean, what do you think?
No, so Jamal, you know we are playing with our 5th string running back and a bunch of guys that they found waiting in front of the hardware store that was looking for a job for that day, and we put them in our backfield, and we're missing our left tackle. We're missing our starting left guard.
Who's your left tackle?
Ronnie Staley.
Ronnie Staley, who has played.
He got hurt. He just got hurt.
He has played one game since he got that contract too, by the way. One complete 4 quarters. But we had to slide Villanueva, who looked like a turnstile, versus the Raiders. He did not look good in a couple other games, but he's he's holding up against pressure. We lost Tyree Phillips. I think during that game, our center got dinged up.
You're going way too deep on the Ravens, yo.
No, but I'm saying you brought up that game. You brought up that game, and I'm saying that with no Marcus Peters, they should have destroyed us.
Yeah, but you guys got Lamar Jackson, who's playing out of his mind. I mean,
yeah,
you can't talk enough about. I mean, personally, I didn't have you guys going anywhere this year. I thought you guys were going to be maybe a 9-7, 8-18, but Lamar Jackson has really surprised me with the way that he's been passing the football. And to your point, maybe he doesn't have the offensive weapons that some of the other teams has, But when you've got that guy playing like that, I mean, sky's the limit for the Ravens.
The Chiefs only have 2 weapons on their offense. Well, not including the quarterback. They only have Kelsey and Tyreek Hill. Everybody else is
serviceable.
replacement level.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go replacement level. I think Hartman is above replacement level.
No, he's not.
Hartman could definitely be replaced.
Yeah,
I think he's above. I mean, he's not a jag.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's just no, I'm sorry. He's just a fast guy. That's about it.
He's a fast
That's
jag.
about it. I mean, because I tell you what, the Chiefs would be a lot better if they didn't have Hardman and had Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah. Or if they had Sammy Watkins back, a healthy Sammy Watkins.
Absolutely. I think Hardman. I think what they tried to do with Hardman is recreate Tyreek Hill.
He ain't that guy.
Tyreek Hill on the opposite side, and he's not. He. I'm not gonna say he sucks, but
He pretty much sucks.
He's just a guy. He doesn't do anything. Like he doesn't like if he gets hurt and misses the season, they won't miss him.
No.
I mean, and they got Josh Gordon now. I mean, once Josh Gordon gets the system and he keeps his head on straight, what do they need Hartman for?
Josh Gordon has parlayed like a 5-game stretch into the longest what-if career in the history of what-if careers. He's basically David Boston on actual drugs. Josh Gordon is overrated as overrated gets. And he's like 60 now.
So you threw a name out there, David Boston, that I hadn't heard in a long time. And I think it's a fair comparison because David Boston was a Pro Bowler at one time that just kept, I guess, on the weights. And it was just like, man, he just kept getting like to the tight end. Then he looked like an offensive tackle. And then, oh, wow.
So he Miles Austin did.
Corn Robinson. No. It's been a whole bunch of guys
that flash for a couple of weeks. And
Josh Gordon has dirt on the NFL. I don't know if he's Roger Goodell's long lost son or I don't know, but he does get a lot of chances.
What is the last time he's actually played in the game? Is it 16 or 17?
Nah, I think
he played for the Seahawks. I think.
Yeah, I mean, he played one game or 2 games that year, and then he's been ghost again.
Yeah. So
yeah. Jamal.
So what about the Arizona Cardinals? How you guys feeling about them? Or are they?
Are
they the real deal?
I am surprised only because they brought in some of the guys who, if you will, the rumors were out that is J.J. Watt done, is A.J. Green done. The guys they are playing hard. Was the coach overrated? Yeah, they're playing well. They at least are out there. I mean, they're undefeated, so that's an understatement. But yeah, they're playing very well.
So I was a fan of the coach. Well, no, I was a fan of the concept, right? So everybody thought the black guy, Steve Wilkes, got a raw deal. But if you're going to hitch your wagon to Kyler Murray, get a coach that knows a system that can work Kyler Murray. So they brought in that air raid Texas Tech offense, and they went all in on it. And I respect that because the GM was told, this is your last chance to get this right. Kyler Murray is a stud. Physically, I think Dallas could beat them up if we played them. Like physically up front, we would beat them up. Yeah, we play them like third to last week of the season or something. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think we're a little better than that. Am I surprised by them? No, because that whole NFC West is competitive.
Are you not surprised at 6-0 though?
Records are. I mean, they could easily be 5-1 because the Jags almost beat them.
They easily be 2-3 also. So
yeah, am I surprised? A little. It's not like, oh my God, I can't believe they're 6-0.
Right.
I mean, didn't they start last year like 4-1 or something?
I don't know. 6-3. They started 6-3.
Yeah. So I think at one point they were 4-1. So they got an exciting team. I don't know up front if they got enough to at some point they got to go outside and play football too. What?
I mean, no, it's true. I mean, they just played outside last week, but
Yeah, but Kyler Murray's got little hands. You get to December football outside against teams that's laying the wood. Let's see how it plays out at that point.
So, but the back end of their schedule, do they play mostly division games? Because the Rams are a dome, Seattle's outside, and then wherever the hell Scotty team plays at, whatever whatever, that can get cold. So I don't know if they come back east late in the season.
Well, they come to Dallas, but we play in a dome. Yeah, well, retractable.
Yeah, so y'all may open the roof up for them.
Maybe it's a slower track.
So, one of my surprises, and we could close on the surprises in a little bit. One of my surprises is actually Cleveland. Because I wanted to get somewhere. I had them winning the division, and they still possibly can. I think the Ravens are probably gonna win the division, but Baker Mayfield, right? In the playoffs, he looked like a Pro Bowler in waiting, right? I think that he really, in the 2 games that he played, you would think he had put the league on notice, but he seemed to regress. And this is his 5th year, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is
it's his 4th.
It's his 4th because he's got the 5th-year option.
Correct.
Next year.
It's his 4th. So he seems to have regressed. If you look at those 5 quarterbacks from that draft in that first round, is he the worst? Well, no, because Rosen was in that draft too, right?
And Darnold.
Huh?
Rosen and Darnold?
No, Darnold was the one. Darnold wasn't that year. No.
Okay.
This is the Saquon draft.
Yeah, because Baker was 1.
Baker was 1. I mean, because it was Baker,
Lamar, Josh, Rosen. Yeah.
So Rosen, it is what it is. I mean, he got we talked about that, whatever. So we won't include him, but those other 4 guys, he's in last place. And I think that it's not enough that yes, Cleveland and Cleveland has the history that they have, but I mean you got weapons and
do you?
Well, so to Jamal's point about Kyler, they have switched systems 2 or 3 times since then. I mean, they've had a bunch of coaches,
but they didn't switch systems since last year. So he's saying last year.
Oh, you talking about Baker?
Baker. I'm saying Baker. So right.
Yeah, I mean, he's been in the same system 2 years. I mean, he has his coach now. I mean, that was an excuse for last year.
Well, hold on, Ant. My question is, you say he got weapons. He's got running game weapons. Is Odell Beckham really what y'all think what the world views Odell Beckham as? I do know. Open wide receivers get the ball thrown to him. Des Bryant used to have to get that lesson all the time. You're not getting the ball because you're not open. Oh, no. Open wide receivers get the ball.
He's open.
Huh? Yeah, I think he's open. I just think Baker dismisses him. He doesn't get him the ball. Now, to your point, he's not Odell Beckham, top 5 receiver in the league anymore, but he's Odell Beckham to where he can still get the job done if you get him the ball.
He's a name. Name.
Yeah, I'd argue that they are a better team without Odell Beckham on the field.
I'm not against that.
I do
think that they should trade him. But
I wouldn't trade him. I let him sit his ass right there and ride away. I don't want. Can I curse on your show? Is cursing permissible? Is cursing permissible?
Absolutely.
Yeah, no.
Fuck Odell Beckham.
I'll just bleep that out on the replay.
He's living off that catch against Dallas, and he was disrespectful. He knew he pushed Carr off. He pushed that man, and then he caught the ball.
Carr is terrible.
Hey, so Jamal, if he makes that play anywhere else versus Dallas, is it as blown up?
Wonderful catch.
Sunday night game. It was a Sunday night game.
Yeah, that's
Wonderful
what
catch, but
I'm
it
saying.
happened to be against that. But my point is, he's got some weapons. Jarvis Landry can't stay healthy anymore, apparently. Odell is in and out of the lineup. The running backs are phenomenal. The Chief Njoku is kind of a guy. He had one big game, I think, in his career. The line has been banged up a little bit this year. I think Baker's solid. Nothing
So
special.
let me ask you this, Jamal, because I'm glad that you brought up that point. You don't think that we make a lot of excuses for Baker Mayfield? I think we make entirely.
No, I
too
think we're
many
trying to make him
excuses.
more than I think he is what he is. Now he's the first overall pick. So then but so is Jared Goff. Wentz was the number 2 pick. I think at some point you just accept that he's a Ryan Tannehill level quarterback. That's what he is.
You give him Ryan Tannehill?
Yeah.
Ryan
Yeah, I
Tannehill
wouldn't-
was the top 10 quarterback in the league last year.
Nah, Ryan Tannehill's solid, but
Well, yeah,
Ryan
he's
nobody
solid,
nobody
Tannehill
else
was
in
the
the
top 10 quarterback.
I don't think
okay,
Baker
so he's
Mayfield
top
is
10. Top 10
Tannehill.
is only 30 teams. So if he's top 10 or any of the top 9 saying we'll trade for him with our player.
I mean, I think if you go there's 32 teams, right? I'll put Baker Mayfield maybe around that 22 to 25 mark.
Wow. Oh,
He's drinking.
that's a little disrespectful.
Here goes. Now you talk about I say things for shock value. Those are the things that Scott say, and because he says it so, I'll put him at 20, 25. and people just say, oh, you know what, Scott might be onto something. No, that is a terrible take. Baker Mayfield.
How you figure?
There are not.
How you figure? How you figure? He's right there.
So you're telling me that there are 24 quarterbacks in the league better than Baker Mayfield?
Absolutely.
So I don't agree with Scott at all on this, but I would say,
I'm about to name them.
Would you say? All right, let's do this.
Wait, hold on, Jamal. So I'm gonna make that point. I'm making that point. I don't think there's 24 quarterbacks better than him, but I do think there's 24 teams that would not trade for Baker Mayfield.
Whoa.
I mean, what is that? They have their franchise quarterback.
Let's see something. Let's see something right now. Tua Tagovailoa or Baker Mayfield?
They're probably the same level.
Yeah. So
So y'all, this is a comedy show now.
They're not being serious now. They're not being serious.
So the reason I say that is
fair enough, Baker.
Okay, Mac Jones or Baker Mayfield?
Matt Jones.
Okay, we're done.
No,
or are you talking about in the future?
Yeah. So
I'm talking about in the future, but you can't compare. You can't change.
No. So are you talking about which one would you rather have now, or would you trade?
Because you said there's 24 quarterbacks.
I would take Mac Jones over Baker Mayfield.
Really?
I like what I see over what I see over.
So if Mac Jones,
dink and dunk Charlie.
So if Mac Jones, you think if Baker Mayfield was on the Patriots, they'd be no better than they are right now?
Nah, I don't think they would. I don't see. I agree with Ant on this, right? The 2 games that he had in the playoffs last year, it came together, and he looked like he was taking the extra step. And I've said this year in and year out on this show because we've had this argument for the past 4 years. I'm not seeing what everybody else is seeing in Baker Mayfield. He had those 2 good playoff games, but aside from that, I'm selling whatever they're doing with him.
Jalen Hurts?
I don't see it.
Oh
I like Jalen Hurts better.
I'm taking Baker over Jalen. Yeah, I think Jalen. I think Jalen's extremely limited. And if
hold on, before we continue, because I feel like I'm in a twilight zone again. Let's remember, and I know I just said even just a few minutes ago that we know Cleveland their history was what it was. But Baker Mayfield came in, won 7 games. He had the rookie record for passing touchdowns. That was just broken last year, right? He had an off second season, but last season, Baker Mayfield had a very, very good season. To say to say oh, he didn't play that well or Jalen Hurts, you take the 10 game, you take Jalen Hurts' first 10, 11 games, and you take Baker Mayfield's first 10, 11 games, and you're still going to take Baker. I mean, you're still going to take Jalen Hurts over Baker Mayfield. They're not even close.
Yeah. And please let me make my point. Okay, I want to tell you why. I think that he managed the offense last year. I think that you could just about get any quarterback in that system with those running backs, and you guys say that there's not weapons. There is weapons there, and I think they could have done what he did. He managed the system last year. Now, the 2 playoff games, he put them in a position of where he had to go out there and he had to win games, and he was real competitive against the Chiefs. But other than that, he played within the system, and that's what made him successful last year, was because they didn't ask him to do too much. And that's exactly what was the difference when what's his name? Not Kitchens.
So Scotty, I don't think putting him in the top 10 is appropriate, but you put him in the bottom 7. When you said 25, that means he's the bottom 7.
Okay. So we'll say so. You know what? I'll recant. Bottom 10. That make you feel better? Yeah. He's not the upper echelon quarterback.
So you're saying there are quarterbacks that did not make the playoffs.
That I would rather have. Absolutely.
All right, so let me ask you this, Scotty: Big Ben or Baker Mayfield right now? Let's see how far your depths go.
Right now?
Yeah, right now.
Hey, Baker's hurt. I gotta go Big Ben. Give me Big Ben.
Big Ben is hurt. Big Ben is hurt.
I got a question that I heard that is a good one, and this is tough. If you had to name your NFC Pro Bowl quarterbacks right now, it's 6 worthy candidates. 7 if you count Russ. Who you got?
NFC or AFC?
NFC.
Oh, it's not that difficult.
Okay.
I'm going Kyler. I'm going Dak. I'm going Aaron.
So you're leaving Matt Stafford off?
Yeah.
And Tom Brady?
Ooh. Can't get Tom off.
Yeah.
So Tom is gonna go because this might be his last year, right? So they're gonna give him. Maybe it's not as easy as I thought, right?
And I thought you were gonna take the cop out and say that Brady would make it over Dak because Dak would be in the Super Bowl. I thought that's
no Super Bowl exclusion. Just who are your 3? It's hard in the AFC too. Well, it's a little easier in the AFC.
But that goes back to my point. It's a lot of good quarterbacks out there. It is a lot of good quarterbacks playing a lot of good football.
But I think
so. It's hard for me to put him in that top echelon because it is. I mean, you just named 6 in the NFC without even trying.
He's an upper echelon quarterback right now. I think Baker Mayfield is middle of the pack, but he's damn sure not bottom 7 or bottom 10.
So you have him at 16, 17.
You got him at 16 or 17.
Yeah, 16, 17 is a lot different than
25.
25.
Yeah. So the AFC it would be between Mahomes, Lamar, and Josh Allen.
Herbert.
Those are probably your 3.
Herbert get left off of that.
And let's not forget about Derek Carr. He is one of the leaders. He's putting up.
I gotta go Burrow over Carr.
Oh, yeah. So that's 6 worthies that can be considered.
It's gonna be tough. So
I think it's easier in the AFC than it is in the NFC.
I think it's a little easier. I think the AFC is a little easier because in the NFC, I would have to leave Kyler Murray off and tell him, "Look, you're young."
You're too young.
He's undefeated though. I mean, and they may
have to stay undefeated.
Yeah, I understand. But you said right now though.
Yeah.
Right now. So the Cowboys continuously play the big game of the week. They've been on the Thursday night game.
Going. You ain't even got to say. Matter of fact, Dak is starting.
And you might as well put Brady in the lineup. So Brady's going to be there too.
Is Brady Dak?
This is why I leave Stafford off because he went head to head with Kyler, and it wasn't even close. Dak arguably outplayed Brady. I said arguably because Brady threw 2 interceptions. Dak threw 1. I mean, Brady, they won the game, but there was missed kicks. But
one of Brady's interceptions was a Hail Mary.
Huh?
One of Brady's interceptions was a Hail Mary.
Okay, and that's fair. the Cardinals and with the Cardinals and Rams game, I mean, the Rams were outmatched. I mean, that game wasn't even close. I mean, it was a 17-point game.
Yeah, but he still got 18 touchdowns, 4
I
interceptions.
I understand that, but if you
1,800 yards,
and he's leading the league in completion percentage.
Yeah, 69%. Like
who Kyler 69?
No, I'm talking about Stafford.
I understand 69. that. I understand that, but they all can't go, and you have to take somebody. Somebody has to get clipped. Kyler beat Stafford, right? Who did Aaron Rodgers? Oh, they lost to the Saints, so we ain't got to worry about Jameis. But I
don't think Rodgers makes it.
Why doesn't Rodgers make it? I mean, he threw 13 touchdowns and 1 interception since week 1. I mean,
week 1 counts.
Yeah, but that still doesn't measure up to what everybody else is doing.
He's got far less yards than the rest of them.
Absolutely.
So we taking.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
I don't know. I think it's Dak, Kyler, Brady.
I'm cool with that.
And you know what?
Who else is out there? Who else?
Stafford has a legitimate shot. Stafford's got a legitimate shot, and they're gonna get bailed out because one of those teams should make the Super Bowl, so they can name the guy that they know.
But we're not.
No, I'm just saying that when it comes out.
So Dallas would be so Aaron Rodgers could take.
So hold on. What's Dak's stats?
Dak is the only quarterback in the league that's top 5 in yards, completion percentage, rating.
How many touchdowns he got?
16.
I think how many he threw? He threw 4, right?
He got 16. He threw 3. He had 13 coming into the game.
Yeah. So
how many interceptions he has?
4 interceptions.
Yeah.
So he's comparable to Stafford now. How many yards he have?
He's like 2nd or 3rd in the league, and he got like 1,800 yards.
He's top 5 in every major category.
Yeah, because they got the same record. So now there's
but again, they'll so Jamal hates when I say it, but even if it's tied, they're gonna give the Cowboy bump. Like,
no, like Dak. If Dak played for any other team, he'd be runaway MVP right now. The Cowboys, it's harder to win awards for the Cowboys than it. Now the fan voting.
Yeah,
Cowboys have a big fan base, so that's going to be a part. But it's a tough year, man. I mean, AFC too.
Yeah, I'm going to say the AFC may be harder because I think there's legitimately 6.
AFC
I think
is definitely easier.
How?
What?
It's Lamar, Allen, and Mahomes. Yeah. Herbert got to wait.
So they just gonna shelve Herbert, even though he may be.
Oh, here we go again with this Herbert bump. Listen,
Herbert
is good. Herbert is a really good quarterback, and he one day might be the best quarterback in the league. But Herbert's not having a better season than Lamar Jackson. He's not having a better season than Josh Allen, and he's not having a better season than Mahomes. No matter how many. No.
What is Mahomes have?
They went head to head. But Mahomes being that Mahomes has that the reputation that he'll get the bump off of the reputation.
Mahomes will have 7 picks or 6?
I don't know, but most of them is because Tyreek Hill can't that ball. So,
well, I think 3 of Dak's interceptions have bounced off of the hands.
Absolutely. Yep.
No. 2. CeeDee Lamb. The one he threw to the lineman against the Giants was a hell of a play by the lineman. Knock it up in the air. The Cedric Wilson one this week was Dak's fault.
Yeah.
And the other one was just he airmailed the pass and Asante Samuel Jr. picked it off. So
all right, so go ahead because we're about to get up out of here.
So real quick,
wrap up.
All right, so we'll have to do this another day. But I just want to throw this question out there because it came up. Should the quarterbacks be charged with an interception?
Yes.
If it bounces, if they put it on target and it bounces off them?
Yes.
Absolutely.
You get a home run if the ball bounces off somebody's head. You get a touchdown if a dude takes a 1-yard screen pass 90 yards. You take the good, you take the bad.
The facts are live. You hear that? So don't try and use that, Phil. Oh, before we get out of here, so wanted to know you guys We got the battlegrounds. You guys have a battle set up. Trying to get a date. You know, we was gonna try and stamp it for tonight, but it looks like Phil can't. He said he's scared.
See, here we go. Jamal, does Friday work for you?
No.
Yeah, Friday don't work for me neither. I coach high school football.
Do you? Y'all still got a team?
See, I knew he was coming.
Yo, don't be disrespectful, yo. Don't be.
You can't set up a second Zoom though.
Oh, while the game is going on.
Yeah.
Yo, y'all disrespect. Yo.
I mean, if you in the booth, the plays you've been calling ain't been working anyway, so you might as well just host. That's what you should do. Host the battle while calling defensive plays that don't work anyway.
All right, we gotta get out of here.
You're the Rex Ryan of high school.
No.
You said Rob Ryan?
Rob Ryan.
You said
Rob Ryan.
Look, now, come here. See, you done made a JV cry. Come here, Xavier. What's wrong? Y'all done made him cry. I can't put you on camera with your face like this, but don't worry about it. No, just stay right there. Just stay right there. No, let's get out of here, man. Hey, fellas, appreciate you.
Thanks for having us.
Hey,
Appreciate y'all coming through, boss.
Hey, this off the record. I'm Anthony Adebayo.
It's your boy Scotty B.
And them other two numb nuts. But whatever, we out.
We off the record. Anthony Adebayo. We off the record.
With you there, but if you're a coach, do you take that chance?
Yes. You can reach us at the Off the Record Show at gmail.com. We off the record. Anthony Adebayo. We off the record. And the most accurate sports coverage. We off the record. Scotty B's Fantasy 5. We off the record. We off the record.
We're different from any other